Now,
Satish, one more thing. Have you covered
come
VS
again.
Code and data loader? Because
There's a
I'm just saying,
data loader
have you
project
covered
is
VS?
pending. On Wednesday, I'll be coding the data loader. But tomorrow, I'll be finishing up the
Okay, okay.
deployments, and Wednesday, I'll be coding. I remember that data loader is not code for you. Okay. Because the format is modified.
And
Come again.
okay, okay. And VS Code,
Could you repeat the question?
Studio Code. Uh,
Could
have you
you
done with VS Code,
report?
Visual Studio Code, VS Code,
Flow,
Visual Studio Code,
flow.
Visual
Acha,
Studio Code. This is a
SFDX. You are asking about SFDX. Okay.
right.
SFDX.
Yes, yes.
SFDX next Saturday will schedule it.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. SFDX next Saturday. 1 minute. No? SFDX next Saturday. Okay, 9 to 10:30 will take. Okay. And your data loader on Wednesday will be taking. Okay. So on Wednesday I'll be closing the batch, but SFDX will be pending. I'll be taking the SFDX on Saturday. Class is fixed on Saturday 9 to 10:30. 9 to 10 o'clock I'll be taking the class. Okay. That's the SFDX. Saturday I'll be covering it. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Dish, so Flow you have uploaded on the FB group. That's Satish Mehla Note, is it?
No, charter. Charter. Your account charter.
Where
Salesforce account.
okay, okay.
Right. Now, let's move on to the deployment. First, let me finish off the deployment. Now, I'm logging into my production. Right. I logged into my production. First, from where you are going to create the sandbox. Now, in the production, we have deploy, then we have sandboxes. Go to the sandboxes. You can create your sandboxes from this. You can create your sandboxes from this. Right. Go to the production. Click on the sandboxes. Go to your try to create a new sandboxes or try to delete your existing sandboxes. So I have so I was creating this. Now what I want to do, when you go to the production, I have it create objects. Now I was trying to delete the object. So look at the story. I am trying to delete this object. So is it possible to delete an object from the production? This is Apex class and trigger. So unless this class is deactivated, I cannot delete it. Unless this class is deactivated, I cannot delete it. We cannot deactivate the classes and triggers directly from the production. We cannot deactivate classes and triggers directly from the production. We cannot deactivate classes and triggers directly from the production. Are you getting my point here? So what we are doing, we will go to the sandboxes. Go to the sandbox. Then we are able to see list of sandboxes what I have. List of sandboxes what I have. Log into the sandbox. Log into the sandbox. Log into the sandbox. So what is a sandbox? We have created a sandbox. We are logging into the sandbox. Once you logged into the sandbox, whatever the development activities you want to do it from here. Whatever the development activities you want to do, we should be doing from here. Okay. Now go back to the story. Developer console. First, I want to create one object. Setup, build, create objects, new object. College info. College name. I'm creating an object. So we have created an object. At the same time, I'm creating the fields. Fields I'm creating. Okay, that will do. Now I'm creating a formula field. Some formula field I'm creating. Then at the same time, I create an object, fields, tab, validate, okay, formula, validation. So I have created an object, fields, validations, okay, validations, formulas. At the same time, I'm also creating some modification of the page layout. Go to the page layout. Going for page layout. This is what we have done. Object creation, field creation, formulas, validation, page layout, right? Then we are going with some development activity. Now I want to create some programs here. I gave Apex class here. Probably. Here I have a logic. If city equal to Hyderabad, else I give any class. When you write any Apex class, if you want to deploy, it is a must that we have to write a test class for this. Without test class, we cannot deploy. If you want to deploy any Apex code means it should be a class or a trigger. If you want to deploy a class or a trigger, it is a must that we have to go for a test coverage. We need to go for a code coverage. We need to write a test class. It should have a code coverage of 75%. Otherwise, we will not be able to do it. Then I have trigger. Apex. Example test. Then how you define a test class for this? This is how your Selenium based testing. Now, which class you want to test it? College. Then we have C dot. When you call a method called call, C dot assert equals what is the name? Name should be CBIT and fee should be 10,000. Because the city is Hyderabad, fee should be what? C dot assert. If city is Hyderabad, 10,000, otherwise 50,000. That's what I wrote. I wrote a test class for this. Check out, run. Look at the code coverage what we have, 100%. We require minimum 75% to deploy it. Similarly, I am writing a trigger on college object. C dot. So the story C dot fee. Now, how do you test it? Go to the trigger. Then how do you write a test class? College dot. We have seats. Now, but what should happen? If trigger is running properly, the value should be modified as This is how we have created. What was that? College info. Basically, what I want to convey, anything that you want to deploy should have a corresponding test class, and code coverage should be 75%, then only we can deploy it. So, run the test, view the code coverage. This is how we got it. Right. Now I want to deploy. So, when you want to deploy the code or changes, you made some changes in the sandbox. The changes you want to deploy into production. So what I was supposed to do, now those are the development activities what I have done. Now I want to move these changes to production. Setup, outbound change set, new outbound change set, then give sit. Some requirements, 102 requirement 2, 106 user stories. Give some name to it to recognize your deployment. To recognize your deployment, whatever the name you want. Then we have add the components. Whatever you want to deploy, you are supposed to add them to the change set. Then choose them. I have first custom object. Now college info. Choose the object which you want to deploy. Then view the dependencies. Each and everything we have to manually add it. Select them. Variables, triggers, classes, whatever it is there, we have to add one by one to the change set. We are creating a outbound change set. Add Apex classes. Then we also had one more class what I created. College example. Then select the classes which you want to deploy. Select the triggers what you want to deploy. So everything. Look at this. List view, custom object, page layout, classes. Okay, custom field, validation. Right. We have created all the things here. Right. Right, boss? Formula field, validation, custom fields, Apex classes, triggers, touch classes, page layout, object, whatever you want to deploy, we have selected all of them as outbound change set. Now what we are supposed to do, click on upload. When you click on upload, you are getting here. Now, why you are not getting the production here? Because production is not accepting any change from the sandbox. Production is not accepting any changes from the sandbox. So what should I do? I am going to my production. In the production we have, because we don't accept changes from every sandbox, we ask them to push everything to one particular sandbox. From there we allow the deployments. Now here we have deployment settings. The production, I went to the production. In the deployment settings, what we have? TSF. In the production list of sandboxes we have. Capital Info production. Go to the sandboxes. Then we have deployment settings. There I find all the list of sandboxes. Select the sandbox. Allow inbound changes. Allow inbound changes. When I say allow inbound changes, that means you are saying accept the changes from that particular sandbox. Now accept the changes from that particular sandbox. Now DSF, allow input changes. Still the changes are not replicated here. What is the sandbox set? SAT, sorry. The sandbox is SAT. Go to deployment settings. I enable for TSF. Actually, the sandbox is easy. Upload. Now able to see TSF for production. I can deploy from here to, I can move the code from here to TSF sandbox or to the production. Okay, any one of the sandbox. Procedure remains the same. I selected the production, upload. For you, I gave 2 sandboxes, practice from sandbox to sandbox. Procedure remains the same, but don't make it live to the production. Okay. Now, it was uploaded. It was what? Outbound change set. So, in the sandbox, you created an outbound change set, uploaded them to production. When you uploaded them to production, in the production, we will receive them like a inbound change set. From sandbox, it is a outbound change set. When you deploy, the other end will receive the changes like a inbound change set. It takes some time. Other end, we have allow inbound changes. So whatever you deploy, we will receive them. We will receive them. Whatever you have deployed, will be received. You need to wait for the files. Whatever you deployed, still they are not received. Let's wait for the file. Let's wait for the files. It takes some time. Meanwhile, I'll explain you fixed stories. Validate. There are 4 options. Default, run local, run all, run specific. There are 4 options. It takes some time to get the files. Meanwhile, let me give you. Now we need to choose any one. Production, sandbox. In the production, already based on the codes we have, production test class 1, production test class 2. We have some packages installed. Manager package 1, manager package test class 1, manager package test class 2. These are the test classes which are already there in the production. Now this is the sandbox. These are the sandbox. First example. Now I have a default. What is the option we have? Default. Default. What is this default? When I choose default, when I choose the default, first point, if the outbound change set doesn't contain any test classes, then no test classes from production. Now I am uploading only object. I create an outbound change set. In the outbound change set, only object is there. There are no test classes. Then no test classes will run. Directly object will be installed. Okay. Suppose if the outbound change set contains test classes T1, T2, test classes 1, 2, then PT1, PT2 and 1, 2, 3. If your production contains some test classes like this, and if you choose the option as a default, in the change set, if you have any test classes, all the test classes in the production will run PT1, PT2. Okay. You know the test classes which are there in the outbound change set, they will also run. Okay. This is the one. So default means what? In the production, if the change set doesn't contain any, if the change set doesn't contain any test classes, then no test class will run from production. If the change set contain a test class, Now, whatever the local test classes are there in the production, PT1, PT2, it will run. The second option. What is the second option we have? Run local test classes. Look at this story. Run all local. If you search, irrespective of change set contain, irrespective of outbound change set, test classes or not. All the test classes from production will run. Now, which test classes are going to run? So, it doesn't matter whether change set contains test class or not. By default, all the test classes of production will run. Now, default is what? If the change set contain the test classes, then only PT1, PT2 will run. When I say run all local test classes, irrespective of whether your change set contain test classes or not, PT1, PT2 will run. Run PT1, PT2 irrespective of whether your change set contains test classes. Did you get my point here? When I say default, if your outbound change set contain test class, then only PT1, PT2 will run. If I say run all local test classes, irrespective of whether your change set contain local test classes, irrespective of whether it contain may not contain, but all the PT1, PT2 will run. So, run all local tests. I have to give. Right. Then we have run all test classes. The next one. What is the next one we have? Run all tests. If I say run all tests, irrespective of outbound change set, all the test classes from production, including manager package, so what does it mean? PT1, PT2, PT1. When I say run all test classes, irrespective of whether your change set contain test classes or not, all the test classes from the production, including the manager package test classes will run. So when I say default, if the change set contain test classes, when I say default, if the change set contain test classes, when I say default, when the change set contain test classes, then only local test classes of production will run. What are the local test classes of production? PT1, PT2. Now, if the change set doesn't contain test classes, and if I choose a default, no test class will run. When I say run local test, irrespective of whether your change set contain test classes or not, all the local test classes of production will run. So PT1, PT2 will run all these. When I say run all test classes, irrespective of whether your outbound change set contain test classes or not, all the test classes from production will be running, including the local and manager packages. Right. Then we have run specific. Don't run all those. I'll give the name of the test classes. Run only those test classes. Okay. Come back to the story. Just now we give inbound change set. I hope you are good with this. We received the deployment. We upload it to the production. These are the elements what I received. What should I do? Validate. Very, very, very common issue in deployment is when I validate in your sandbox, when you tested 100% we receive. But when you are running this from the production, when you are running in the production, when it is running with other elements, the code coverage may fall down to 35 or 50 or 60. In the sandbox, when you are done, it's 100%. In the sandbox, already we have 100%. In the sandbox, already we have 100%. In the sandbox, already we have 100%. But when you are running in the production, we are getting a code coverage issue. Then how do you solve? That's very commonly important issue. Validate. First, you are supposed to validate. You should not deploy directly. Validation fail. What is the issue? Code coverage. Code coverage. Boss, if you look at this code coverage error, only 66% I am getting. But in the sandbox, what is the code coverage I had? 100%. If it is less than 100%, I can try to improve. But it's already it is 100%. I cannot improve anything more than that. In the sandbox, already it is 100%. I cannot improve anymore. Then in that case, what we do? That's where we come with run specific test class. What are the test classes we have? Validate, run specific test classes. Don't run all the test classes, run only these 2 test classes. Validate. I told you this is very, very commonly important. I told you, in sandbox already it is 100%. If it is less than 100%, I can improve. But already it is 100%. I cannot improve beyond this. What was this? Then you need to deploy. Again, run specific test classes, click on deploy. This will be made as live. Is the rest clear for everyone? People are good with this? Okay, I am not making live here. So just click on deploy. You click on deploy, it is live. You do from sandbox to sandbox, click on deploy. Okay, I hope you're good. So how we are doing? We require, if you want to deploy using a chain set, there are 2 types of chain sets what we have. Outbound chain set and inbound chain set. What is outbound chain set? From the sandbox, whatever you want to deploy, that we have to put them in outbound chain set. Now each and every element should be added to the outbound chain set. What are the elements which we cannot add to outbound chain set? Profiles, users. We cannot add profiles or users or any schedule effects which is active. We cannot add them. We have to deactivate from the production. Then only we can. Triggers or schedule effects which is active. We cannot modify. First we have to deactivate them, then modify. Okay. You add them to the chain set and push it. Now profiles and users cannot be deployed from chain set. So create a outbound chain set, then upload to production. When you upload to production, you validate in the production. When you validate in the production, Once you validate in the production, what we are going to do? Deploy. Then at the time of validation, there are 4 options. Default, run local test, run all test, run specific test. Default means what? If your chain set contains any test classes, then the production local test classes will run. If the chain set doesn't contain any test classes, no test class from the production will run. Run all local test classes. Irrespective of whether your chain set contain any test classes, all the local test classes in the production will run. When I say run all tests, irrespective of whether your chain set contain test classes or not, all the things from your production will be executed. Run a specific test class. This is very commonly encountered issue. I hope you're good. Clear? Now, what is the drawback of this chain set? We can only deploy in between the organizations which are associated. Now, if I have ICSA, from ICSA sandboxes to ICSA sandboxes, or ICSA sandbox to ICSA production, we cannot go out of box. Only within the organization, sandboxes and production I can deploy. I cannot deploy the code to third parties. What if you want to deploy the code to third party using this one? If I am using a chain set, you cannot deploy. Then what is the solution we have? We have packages. This is a concept of package. There are two types of packages we have. Okay, managed package and unmanaged package. We can create a package. I can deliver the code to them in the form of package. Now, first, is the was clear? Change the concept is clear. What is the drawback? Only within the associated. Now, we have a packages. What is a package? Look at this. Setup, build, create. We have packages. There are two types of package: managed package and unmanaged package. Now I have new package. Right. See. Add. What do you want to put in this package? Custom object. Okay. Then here we had a trigger I require, add Apex class. So whatever you want to deploy, add them to trigger. Then what I have done? Upload. So we are creating a package. Version name. Now, any release notes not required. Any post installation not required. You need a password, you can password. Right. Then, do you require any extra permissions on this? Do you require any extra permission? I don't require any extra permissions. Any permission is required on this? Any other object? If you want to work with this object, any other object permissions are required? No, I don't require permission on any other object. Upload. So, I will deliver this to the third party. They will click on the link, enter the password. Whatever that is there in the package will be installed in their organization. So, we will be delivering them in the form of what? Package. But what are these packages? How many types of packages are there? What is the difference? I'll explain. So, one of the way of deployment is change set. Second way, I can also deliver the code in the form of packages. Let it be completed. I will show you the example. You are supposed to do it from the production. Okay.
First time we were validating the last deployment, we got the error.
Hmm?
First time we were validating the object, we got the error. Second time we used the only specific test classes, we
Yes.
get the error.
Yes.
So what exactly was the error?
Now I am telling don't run local test classes. Only run the test classes what I mentioned. When you are running with local test class and my class, there is an issue with the code, overall code coverage. When they are running together, code coverage is not meeting. Then I told don't run all of them, run only my specific. Right. It's still running? Okay. Meanwhile, let me explain. So what was this packages? Look at the story. Now, cap info solution developed a package called testing. This is the name of the package in which I have a class, package contain one class. The package contain one class and it contain one page. These are the elements which are added in the package. The name of the package is this package I give to ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank has purchased this package. They purchase this package from me. When they purchase it, they install this package. ICICI Bank installed testing package. From Capital Info, they purchase this package. They install. When they install, whatever the code is there in my organization, now all the classes and pages are complete. When you install, all the classes and pages are whatever it is there in the package, everything will come to them. Now it will come to them and they are also able to see the code. When you install the package, all the elements which are there in the package are installed and also they are able to see each and every element in the package. When they are able to see every element and every code, then ICICI Bank started modifying this code. They told, boss, I don't want this. Because they are able to see the source code, they started modifying this. Because they are able to see the code, they install, they are modifying. Now once they install, can I control what changes they are making? I cannot. Why? They are able to see the source code, and once they are able to see the source code, they can make whatever the changes they want. So I don't have any more control on the package which I have given. I developed a package, I gave to ICICI, they installed, they are able to see the source program, and they are able to make whatever the changes they want. When they are able to make the changes whatever they want, I don't have any control on it. That's why it is called unmanaged package. The person who developed this, he don't have any more control on the package. Person who developed this, he don't have any more control on this. Person who developed this, he don't have any more control. Why he don't have any more control? Why don't have any more control? The person who installed this, once you install, the source code is also visible to you, and objects are visible to you, fields are visible to you. If you want, you can make the changes. Because you are allowed to make the changes on the source code and element, I don't have any more control on what is available in your organization. Because you can do whatever the changes you want. I don't have any control on what is available in your organization. Then, Capital Info solution developed the same thing as a unmanaged package. Testing, instead of managed, they deliver this as when they deliver as a managed package, they get example class, example page. They get the list of elements which are there. They cannot see the source code. But they know what are the elements are there. They can use them. They can call that example class. They can use the functionality. But they will not be able to see the source code. If you cannot see the source code, you can only use it. You cannot modify. You can only use it. You cannot modify. If they want any changes to be done, again they will inform to Capital Info solution. Capital Info solution, what they do? They make the changes. They release as a new version. Testing 2.0. They make the changes. They develop one more package and they give this package. Now when they give the package, again install the package. Then whatever the new things are there in testing 2.0, they will be getting it. So who has a control? The person who developed the package, he has a control on what elements are there in the package. Nobody can make the changes here. So this is called as what? Manager package. If you want to make a manager package, minimum unlimited edition you should have. What edition is required? Unlimited edition. What edition is required? Unlimited edition. Look at this. Now we got a link, right? Copy this link. Then now, because our is a sandbox environment, we are getting that. Okay, I'll try to do. Satish, we log into sit, right? Yes, sir. I gave them like a. Now you got a password. Now because I developed the sandbox, URL is coming as sandbox URL. Okay. Then, if any conflicts, so whatever I developed, I'm delivering them like a package. Okay. Generally, if it's a product-based development, we deliver them like a package. If it is a product, we deliver them like a package. We're making a development, trying to build a product, not a service-oriented application, product-oriented application. Then we generally try to, what is it? Installation. Then whatever we develop, it is available here. Now I gave them like manager package or unmanaged. Because it's enterprise edition, we received them like a unmanaged package. Now look at this. Satish 1. View components. This is what I give, right? Then I have trigger, open the trigger. Are you able to see the source code? If you are able to see the source code, I can make changes. Why it is you are able to make a change? Because I delivered them like unmanaged. So the person who installed, he has a control on, okay, installed, he has a control, he can modify them as per their business choices. Generally, anybody who want to sell a product, they will deliver in the form of managed packages. I hope you are good with this. Right. So what are the two choices we have? I deployed the elements in two ways. One, I have used a change set. Second one, I have used a package. Okay. I suggest to go with a package. If it's internal product level development, I'll always suggest to go with a package. If it's service oriented, we'll go with a change set. Service oriented change set. If you want to, if it's a product level development, we'll prefer to go with it. Okay. Because outsourced projects are there. When it's an outsourced project, I will not be given your environment. I'll be given only functionality. Now it's an outsourced project. So they don't want to reveal entire functionality to me. So they are only given some part of the functionality. They ask me to create, okay, they ask me to create a blueprint of what I need. Then later on, I will make a changes on it and convert it to my application. Then I am asking to develop the functionality. Most of the projects what I get, okay, most of the projects I get is a third party. It's not a second party also. I'll be a third party. Client to company will be giving. Now they don't want to reveal the client name to me. They don't want to reveal the client name to me. They don't want to reveal the complete functionality also. So what if they require, okay, if they require agent, they ask me to put some customer or something they are asked me to put. So they'll make a certain changes of the document objects and everything, ask me to build. I will develop and give to them. They see the source code, make the necessary changes on it and push it up. Okay. Then I'll be delivering everything in the form of unmanaged packages. Okay. I hope you are good with this. Both the stories are clear. Tomorrow we will see how to deploy them using Ant.